Welcome back to Sleeperhold Society, the podcast where we grapple with the big questions. Was this week's wrestling episode brilliant storytelling or just 2 hours of beefy dudes making angry faces? Spoiler alert, it's both.
Justice was served, or was it? Because I saw more cheap shots and referee distractions than I've seen in Gotham on a bad night.
Whoa, it's like the squared circle is a metaphor for life. You win some, you lose some. And sometimes a dude named Otis gets hit with a finishing move called the Demolition Decapitator.
That's right, Keanu, we're diving deep into the April 29th episode of Raw, where legends clashed, factions schemed, and spoiler alert, Seth Rollins remembered how to seal a leg injury like his paycheck depended on it. Stick around, because we'll also answer the age-old question, can Pretty Deadly ever actually win a match? All right, let's break this down match by match. First up, we had Randy Orton and Roman Reigns, two guys who look like Greek statues had a grudge to take on Pretty Deadly, Elton Prince and Kit Wilson. Spoiler, Pretty Deadly lived up to their name by losing pretty badly.
Randy and Roman were like a crime-fighting duo, except their main tactic is hitting people with their shoulders at high speeds.
And Pretty Deadly, they looked like they just came from a fashion show and accidentally stumbled into a wrestling ring. Respect, though. They sail getting hit like they're in a telenovela.
Next, Batista squared off against Sami Zayn in what I like to call the battle of who could look more exhausted. Batista's win was inevitable, but Sami's ability to make the crowd care even while getting body slammed repeatedly. Chef's kiss.
Batista fought with precision, like a vigilante seeking vengeance. Sami fought with heart. But heart doesn't win when you're hit with a Batista bomb.
Dude, Sami just keeps getting back up. It's inspiring. Like John Wick, but with fewer guns and more turnbuckles.
Then we got to Demolition Smash versus Otis. This wasn't a wrestling match. It was two refrigerators colliding, and somehow it ended with Smash winning. Didn't see that coming.
Otis is just a vibe, man. He's out here vibing, losing matches, and making us all feel better about life.
Smash is a reminder that sometimes brute force wins. He didn't just win the match, he sent a message to Alpha Academy, step up or stay down.
And speaking of tag teams, CM Punk teamed up with Elton Prince to take on Butch and Ridge Holland. I don't know how to feel about Punk working with Pretty Deadly. It's like seeing a Michelin chef serve McDonald's. It works, but
I love the chemistry, man. Punk's all serious, Prince is all flamboyant. It's like yin and yang.
Punk's strategy was clear: exploit the chaos, and it worked. But I suspect tension is brewing between Punk and Prince. A man like Punk doesn't share the spotlight for long.
Then we had Bronson Reed versus Drew McIntyre. This was heavy. Literally. These two hit each other so hard, I think the ring has PTSD-SD.
McIntyre underestimated Reed's resilience. Bronson is rising in the ranks, and this win proves he's not to be ignored.
Bronson's like unstoppable, man. He's like a freight train, but also kind of zen about it.
And finally, the main event, Hulk Hogan versus Seth Rollins. Look, I know Rollins is great, but when you put him against Hogan, you're basically asking him to lose to nostalgia. And guess what? He did.
Hogan used experience, charisma, and some questionable referee leniency to win. Rollins fought valiantly, but the crowd was on Hogan's side from the start.
Whoa, Hogan is like timeless. But Rollins, he's the future, man. This isn't over.
All right, let's talk promos and backstage segments. First up, Becky Lynch had a promo about her title reign. It was passionate, heartfelt, and just the right amount of cocky. She basically said, come at me and I believe every word.
Becky's energy is like magnetic. You can't look away. She's a star.
But stars attract challengers, and I suspect someone lurking in the shadows will make a move soon. Perhaps Bianca Belair?
Then we had Pretty Deadly backstage lamenting their loss to Randy and Roman. It was peak drama. Elton Prince compared their struggles to a Shakespearean tragedy, and I haven't laughed that hard since Hogan's leg drop was considered a finisher.
They're like theater kids who stumbled into wrestling, and I'm here for it.
Their theatrics are their strength, but also their weakness. Factions like heirs of the throne don't take them seriously, and that will cost Pretty Deadly again.
CM Punk had a backstage interview where he basically called out Anarchy Inc., Alpha Academy, and anyone else who gets in his way. Punk's promos are always gold, but this one, it had a touch of venom.
He's playing a dangerous game. Calling out factions only paints a target on his back.
But like, maybe that's what he wants, man. He thrives on the chaos.
Finally, we got a cryptic segment with the Doomsday Circle. Bray Wyatt delivered another one of his spooky, incomprehensible monologues. I think it was about dominance and destruction, but honestly, it could have been a metaphor for how I feel watching tax season commercials.
Bray is planting seeds of fear. His words are weapons, and his intentions, unclear, but undoubtedly dangerous.
Dude, Bray is like on another level. It's not about what he says, it's about the vibe. And the vibe is terrifying.
So that's the breakdown of the promos and segments. In short, Becky's a queen, Pretty Deadly's a mess, Punk's got issues, and Bray Wyatt probably watches horror movies for relaxation. Classic Raw. All right, let's dive into the world of alliances, betrayals, and backstage scheming. Faction spotlight time, folks. And this week, we're starting with Anarchy Inc., a group that's proving chaos isn't just their brand, it's their lifeblood.
Anarchy Inc. thrives on unpredictability. Led by CM Punk, the faction has made a statement. But cracks are forming, especially with Elton Prince, who's been more liability than asset lately.
Whoa, it's like when a band member misses every beat and the lead singer is about to snap. Punk's vibe is intense, man.
Exactly, Keanu. Punk gave Prince a verbal beatdown after their match this week. The question is, how much longer can this faction survive with tension brewing under the surface?
Prince's failures could lead to his exile. Punk is a master strategist, and he won't tolerate weakness. If Anarchy Inc. wants to stay dominant, they'll need to cut dead weight or risk imploding.
Speaking of dominance, let's shift gears to the heirs of the throne. The throne, this faction feels unstoppable. You've got Hogan, Orton, Bronson Reed, Austin Theory, and Alexa Bliss, 20, all dripping with championship ambition.
Dude, it's like royalty squared. Hogan's chasing Orton's World Heavyweight Championship, but Reed's big win over McIntyre, that guy's coming for the crown too.
Internal tension is inevitable. Reed's ambition and Hogan's resurgence could clash. The heirs' greatest strength is their collective talent, but that same talent could tear them apart.
Now, let's talk Pretty Deadly. Glitter Glam and growing frustration. Kit Wilson and Elton Prince are on the verge of a meltdown. Repeated losses are piling up, and even their partnership with Punk can't seem to save them.
It's sad, man. They're like black coffee with too many sprinkles. Cool at first, but then it's just a mess.
If Pretty Deadly doesn't refocus, their time on top could end before it even begins. And Punk, he may decide to cut ties if they continue dragging down his momentum.
Finally, the Doomsday Circle. Bray Wyatt, Piper Niven, Dakota Kai, and Psycho Sid, the faction is a walking nightmare, but internal friction is brewing. Io Sky's dominance as women's Intercontinental Champion has left Kai sidelined, and Piper Niven's interference in their match this week only made things worse.
It's like they're living in their own horror movie. Kai's about to go rogue, dude.
The Doomsday Circle thrives on fear and control, but Kai's descent threatens their unity. The fallout could be catastrophic.
So to wrap up, Anarchy Inc. is imploding, the heirs of the throne are walking a tightrope talent and ego. Pretty Deadly needs a lifeline, and the Doomsday Circle is teetering on chaos. Drop your thoughts in the comments. Who do you think survives the drama and who crumbles? And now the main event, Hulk Hogan versus Seth Rollins. This wasn't just a match, it was a generational clash. On one side, you've got Hogan, the icon of the 80s. On the other, you've got Rollins, who's basically the face of modern wrestling, and also the guy who makes the loudest outfits look good.
Hogan relied on his charisma and nostalgia, Rollins on skill and athleticism. The crowd was divided, but the match itself, a masterclass in storytelling.
Dude, it was epic. Rollins hitting the frog splash, poetry in motion, Hogan's leg drop, like less poetic but still effective.
Let's talk key spots. Rollins spent the first half targeting Hogan's knees, smart strategy, considering Hogan's knees have been through more wars than a 90s action movie. But Hogan's hulking up moment, classic. It's like watching a superhero charge their ultimate move.
And yet, Rollins countered. His super kick after the Hulk up was a brilliant twist. It reminded the crowd that nostalgia doesn't guarantee victory.
But then came the moment, referee bump. Hogan grabs a chair, Rollins dodges, hits the stomp, and covers. But wait, out comes Damian Priest from the Judgment Day to interfere.
Dude, the crowd went nuts. Like, why was Priest even there? Does he have beef with Rollins, or is this just about making chaos?
All right, let's talk PPV build. Backlash is just a few weeks away, and the seeds are being planted for some juicy matches. First up, Becky Lynch versus Bianca Belair for the Women's Championship. This feud has everything: respect, rivalry, and just a sprinkle of shade.
Becky is determined to prove her dominance. Bianca to reclaim her throne. The tension will boil over at Backlash.
Then we've got what looks like a brewing triple threat: Seth Rollins, Hulk Hogan, and wait for it, Damian Priest. This is chaos written all over it.
Dude, Rollins and Hogan in the same ring again? With Priest? It's like a multi-generational battle of epic proportions.
Rollins seeks redemption, Hogan validation, and Priest, he seeks to disrupt. The match will be explosive.
Plus, can we talk about how Priest might just use this to challenge for the title himself? Because if there's one thing factions love, it's making everything about them. And then there's Bray Wyatt. We still don't know who he's targeting, but the creepy promos scream big match incoming, maybe against Randy Orton or even Roman Reigns.
Dude, whoever it is, they're in for a nightmare.
Bray thrives on fear. His opponent must confront not just him, but their own demons.
So there you have it. Backlash is shaping up to be a wild ride. Becky vs. Bianca must see. Rollins vs. Hogan vs. Priest, Trace, Chaos, Bray Wyatt, terrifying. Drop your predictions in the comments because we want to know who's walking out of Backlash as champ and who's leaving in a stretcher. All right, it's time for my favorite segment, Fan QA. Let's dive into your burning questions, the ones that make us question why we love this chaotic world of wrestling. First up, we've got a comment from Powerbomb King 87 who asks, do you think Seth Rollins can bounce back after losing to Hulk Hogan?
Whoa, bounce back? Dude, this is Seth freaking Rollins. He doesn't just bounce back, he springboards into chaos and somehow makes it look good.
Rollins thrives under adversity. A loss to Hogan may tarnish his pride, but it fuels his drive. The architect always builds his next opportunity.
Translation, yes, he'll bounce back, and probably while wearing something that looks like it was stolen from Elton John's closet. Moving on, Splexico writes, will Damian Priest's interference in the main event lead to him challenging for the World Heavyweight Championship?
Unquestionably. Priest's ambitions are evident, and his actions signal a broader plan for dominance.
Totally, man. Priest is like that guy at the buffet who piles up his plate before anyone else. He's going for the big prize.
And by buffet, we mean championship opportunities. Priest isn't waiting for permission. He's grabbing the spotlight. Next question from Chokeslam Queen is Bray Wyatt targeting Roman Reigns.
Oh, Bray vs. Roman? That's like a clash of two dark forces. If it happens, we're in for a wild ride, dude.
Wyatt's cryptic promos suggest a return to high-stakes feuds. Roman Reigns represents the pinnacle of power. A confrontation seems inevitable.
Yeah, Batman said it better than I could, but here's my take. If Bray's targeting Roman, then he better invest in some nightlights. All right, final question from Figure 4 Life. How long before Pretty Deadly turn on CM Punk? Honestly, about as long as it takes Punk to call him unprofessional on social media.
True, dude, but if Punk can survive this alliance, it could be epic or disastrous. Either way, we win.
Trust is fragile, betrayal is imminent, and in wrestling, it's always entertaining.
Well, folks, that's a wrap for this week's chaos-filled recap. We've got Seth Rollins licking his wounds, Damian Priest stirring the pot, and Hulk Hogan proving nostalgia's still profitable. Oh, and Bray Wyatt, he's probably hiding under someone's bed as we speak. And don't forget to subscribe and comment. Let us know which moment from Raw had you laughing, cringing, or questioning your life choices.